Hey guys, so we're back, and what I'm going to be doing today on the Grand Cherokee is doing getting things ready for camping. So you can see here I've already put on the luggage rack crossbars. Those came off of Amazon. I'll leave a link in the description below, but those are going to go on because I'm going to do a couple of things. One, I'm going to be putting my awning on there, and I'll show you guys that here in a little bit. And I'm also going to be doing a hydro tube, basically so I can store water for kind of overlanding trips. Doing a little faucet so I can take a shower, wash off my boots, clean the pots and pans in the kitchen area whenever I get done camping and cooking. But today what I'm going to be working on is the bed. So this bed right here came off of Amazon as well. Again, I'll leave a link in the description below. It's a 4-inch memory foam. It's supposed to fit in the back of the Jeep. I do think that I'm going to have to trim it a little bit. So we're going to put this in the back of the Jeep, see how it fits, and see what kind of trimming I need to do. So I'll put it in there first, and then I'll pull it back out. I'll take the cover off and just have the memory foam pieces, put those in there, take a permanent marker, mark them where I'm gonna cut. So follow me through, we'll walk through this together. Quite a bit wider than the Jeep, which I knew was gonna happen, but it fits great up front. Up front it's the perfect width, but folding it back with the speaker here and the other parts is gonna have to be trimmed. So let's go ahead and see how this works here. Yep, definitely gonna need to be trimmed, but it does fit good back here. And you're not gonna be able to close the hatch with this thing in place without cutting these off. So I'm gonna take the cover off of this and take the foam pads out, trim them to fit, and see what we got. So it can be pushed up a little bit more if I can get the driver's seat up. Then you can close this no problem back here. So be interesting to see, but let's see how comfy it is. Oh yeah, oh, that's nice. Nice and comfy. I can put my palms up straight like this to the top of the roof and have plenty of room. So that's the length there. So you take your palms and put them straight up. You could touch the roof, but there's plenty of room to turn. Super comfortable. I'm a side sleeper, so super comfy. I think it's going to work out well. So the front one is good. This doesn't need to be trimmed. I'll show you guys here. All right, so this is what it looks like up front. Again, the driver's seat needs to go forward a little bit, but you can see the corners over here. If I open the window a little bit for the door, you can see the corners are perfect to the door jamb there. And then again over there, but right in through here, we need to cut these out. So I'll take this foam pad and take it out of the cover and cut these out right here a little bit at a time. And yeah, this is gonna fit well. It's gonna be nice. All right, so what I did here was I cut this fabric. So I unzipped it from the cover. I cut the end of this fabric, and now I can just peel it down to the foam itself. Now I'm gonna lay the foam back here, trim out the foam, draw it on there with that permanent marker, and that way I can trim it. And then whenever I'm done, I'll put this back on and have it sewn back up. Guess you don't really need to sew it, but you could wash that if you needed to. All right, so now what I'm gonna do is place this in here. Like that, and I'm only gonna need to cut one side. I don't need to cut both sides. It's the same on both sides, so it's just gonna go right there, and you can see right here on this line, it'll be perfect. Right there, and then I can just form it how I want. Now this one here, what I'm actually gonna do is probably just measure it with a tape measure and cut it. The other one has a curve to it, so I wanna put it in here and draw it out. This one, I think I'm just gonna go ahead and measure across because it's the same length. And then I'll just cut the end off of this. So Let's measure it to see how much it measured at. Find a tape measure here. All right, so the width on this is gonna be, looks like 43 inches there and 42 inches up there. So I'm just gonna do it at 43 inches and squeeze it in, I think is what I'm gonna do. That way it fits nice and tight. So 43 inches, I'll mark that out on here and I'll cut it. And then some people say to use a bread knife to cut them. You could do that. Let me grab my marker. All right, found my marker. So let's draw this out here, 43 inches. All right, grab our straight edge here. All right, now we can cut that. All right, that's all cut off. Now let's see about fitting it back in there. All right. Oh yeah. Nice and solid. That's perfect. Absolutely perfect right there. So that piece is done. We'll put it back in and we'll do the next one. All right, so now I'm gonna go in and unzip the cover for the middle piece. Okay, take that out. Now I will fold the fabric back so that I can put the other one on there. Okay. Now again, we're going to cut this piece off right here. And you know, you don't have to worry about saving the fabric too much because, you know, like you said, it's going to be shorter as it is. So whoever you have sew it up, whether yourself or someone else or your spouse, they can sew it up with plenty of fabric. All right, so here's the middle piece. I've put it in place and I've kind of bent the foam around to what it's going to look like. Now you got to keep in mind, if you mark it off, it's going to cut up short right here. So you got to kind of measure it out. And remember, when we measured it 42 inches before. So I'll start off at 42 inches, but I'm going to mark up here and then I'll kind of cut the radius out between those two, kind of at an angle most likely. So let's see how that works. All right, so what I've done now is I have the mark here and the mark on the back side. I'm going to use my straight edge again and just cut it at a straight angle. Might have to tailor it back a little bit, but I'm going to mark that there. And then I'm going to flip it around and actually measure the other side. Do the same thing. Now remember, all these marks are going to be hidden, so don't worry about that. But I'm going to mark it here. And then I'm going to take a tape measure. Remember, we said it was 42 inches. We'll measure twice and cut once. So we'll mark the 42 inches, see, make sure. And just like 42.5 inches. So 42.5 inches on the skinny side. We're right at 42, that's about right. We can squeeze it in there. So 42 inches, that's good. Now let's measure here to make sure it's even on both sides. So 13.5 or so. We're gonna measure on this side as well. 13.5, yeah, perfect. Worked out great. So let's cut it, and then we'll see if we can't squeeze it in there. If it'll squeeze in good enough, then we don't have to worry about doing any more. So let's just go ahead and cut this. All right, so we got that cut out on both sides of the middle piece. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put it in there without the cover on it, okay? And see if I can't squeeze it in to fit. All right. Pretty good on that side. Just got to push it over a little bit. Oh yeah, that squeezes in nice and tight. That's perfect. Perfect. Let's put the back piece in. So this is the 43-inch piece that we cut. Perfect. Look at that. The way that that fits is exactly what you need for a good mattress. So I'm going to put the fabric covers back on these two, and then I'm going to put the gray cover over top of it. I'm going to get back with you and you guys can see what it looks like all complete. Okay guys, so there you go. Nice and tight fit, very comfortable, fits perfect. You can even close the hatch on this, tucked in nice and tight. There is excess fabric on the sides of this one because we cut it short. There's also excess fabric in here. Only thing you gotta do is just tuck it down in there. It's gonna be a nice tight fit, and that's exactly what you want. And then whenever you're done with it, all you gotta do is fold it up. It fits right there, and you can store all your camping supplies and stuff right here. Now, of course, you can't use your back seats, but if you wanted to use your back seats, you still could flip them up, but that would take up quite a bit of room. So they do make a cover for this, a carrying case for that. You could put on it and put it up top like on a luggage rack. I'm not sure how waterproof it is. I'd be a little concerned with that, but it does come in a nice big plastic container for it. I just cut the end of it off. I didn't destroy the plastic, so that way I could wrap it back up. That's what I'm going to use for now. But it fits great back there, and then when you need it, just pull it back out.